This is a food YouTuber exploring mission in Calgary, Alberta, so let's go. As of right now, I'm gonna pay for parking and we'll go from there. So I am officially all paid up here. It costed me $3 to pay for parking. Just in case, as parameters, I like to put it directly into the dash of my car. And then after that, we'll sort of go from there. Right about now, we're gonna be walking to the beginning half of mission. And let me explain to you as to why I like this area so much. But first, here's the beginning. So the beginning is sort of where the Safeway is, I like to say. And then there's a Dollarama too here as well. So as we start to walk down progressively, you can see right over here, two places that I've been to before and quite enjoyed. It's really windy, by the way. La Boulangerie Bakery Cafe. I have videos on that, as well as South Block. I think those restaurants and cafes are pretty nice, but that's not necessarily where we're going to be going today, or where we're going to be going today. I want some coffee and I'll probably go somewhere else. For reference, over here, I parked right next to the Shoppers Drug Mart, and then going down all the way down there, there's a lot more coffee shops and options that you can choose from. For the sake of retention in the video, I'm not going to tell you quite yet, but yeah, definitely would recommend this area just because looking both ways. One, it's not as loud and as busy. I mean, Calgary is like a lower population city in comparison to Toronto and sort of Vancouver, but I think this area is more chill and sort of that downtown vibe that you may or may not have been craving. Parking's pretty accessible here, not too expensive. The walk here is quite nice. It goes from like all the way to the Safeway and to where we're gonna go, and it's a nice sort of area for a stroll. It's very clean infrastructure, a lot of cafes and stuff. It's not the Stephen Ave, so it won't be as busy. There's less homelessness here, and there's also Mercados here, which is a famous restaurant here in Calgary, Alberta. It's just a great area. Yeah, even then, right over there is Mercado. Behind me is also a place called Purple Perk, it was. I've always wanted to go into it, but I think there's quite a few people there, and I'm not in the mood for that. So I'm gonna try to find another coffee shop that's best suited. By the way, I haven't had a single cup of coffee yet, and it's very hard for someone who likes coffee in the morning. There's also Phil and Sebastian, a bit off horizon there, but Phil and Sebastian's over there too as well. You know what, maybe I'll head on over there actually. I might head there right now. I feel like my favorite cafes sort of are Deville and Phil, so I think I'm just gonna go to Phil. All right, so I didn't take any footage of it, but I just finished my iced Americano from Phil and Sebastian. For someone who hasn't had coffee yet this morning, I thought I did the first part of the vlog pretty impressively. On the right here is Anejo. I know it's a bit hard to see, but that's kind of a Mexican restaurant. There's a few locations here in Calgary, Alberta. We're going to proceed and continue to walk around the area, and that coffee was definitely needed for sure. But yeah, if you're sort of in the mood for roll and such, and anything super chill, like I would highly recommend Mission, just because Mission is so towny, accessible parking, but still interesting. Okay, so right behind me over here is Blaze Pizza. I hope you guys can see me with all this darkness. That's sort of a place that I like to go to, and my girlfriend as well. I think it's pretty chill. And on top of that, if we're walking around this specific block here, there's going to be sort of a lot new restaurants like Narikatsu, and I see another one right here, Shoku. Sorry, excuse me, it's actually Shokuni. Don't know exactly what it is, but I would only assume it's Japanese, and that's pretty cool. I think, yeah, this neighborhood's fantastic. And oh yeah, on top of that, there's even Seed & Salt. Sort of the last but not least, we have Paris Baguette too as well. Premier like Korean brand, I guess. There's like multiple locations in Calgary and like Toronto and stuff like that. Surprised it's not in Vancouver yet, but I also think the benefits of Mission is the walk from the bottom to the top isn't extremely far. I'd say it's about 15 minutes max at a slow pace and stuff like that. So it's really walkable for sure. And especially on a nice day like today, I think it's fantastic and a really good idea to do something like that. And if you want to eat here, there's a countless amounts of restaurants that you can sort of choose from. Even here, like there's Firehouse Subs that looks like is either open already or not open yet, or opening soon. And then there's even a premier new Kintan Ramen that's around this area too as well, I think. Oh no, they're still doing construction, it's not open yet. But yeah, again, this is a fantastic area. And if you do or do not know, this is also where the Lilac Festival is, which just happened. Super busy, so we didn't go, but yeah, also here too. I think when the sun's not up and then the wind's blowing, it's fairly cold because I'm just in my shorts and shirt. With all things considered, I'm just kind of dealing with it, just because in a few hours from now, it's gonna be super hot, so I think it's really okay. There's also one thing I want to show you guys too as well. Let's just walk over there now. So there's two things actually. One of them is sort of a new ramen spot, Junior Ramen. I actually haven't had a chance to try that, but I will probably get to that eventually. And then even down over here as well, in the far distance over here is Class Clam. That's sort of a premier smash burger here in Calgary, Alberta. One thing you should know is like if you want to get that, I don't know if there's takeout availability, you kind of have to dine in, so tipping is something you should keep in mind. But yeah, like I was saying, you have to dine in and then you do have to tip for that, so it's something to keep in mind for sure. Although I do like Rosie's YYC a lot better. That's also in Toronto, I believe, too as well. Like there's Shake Shack in Toronto, but I think in the States it actually tastes better for some reason, because I recently had that in Seattle But point being is, not a bad idea to go to Class Clown. I'm not bashing on it. It's actually still pretty good, but there's better out there. It's right here, sort of where Second Cup is. It's probably the end of Mission. That's what I mean. It's not like an extremely long area. Although if you're in the Lilac Festival, it does seem a lot bigger and longer just because there's a crowd of people and it's just so busy and stuff. But if we're talking just a stroll around this area, it's actually not too bad at all. And within the area in itself, there's a lot of good restaurants, cafes that you can choose from. So I think there's a plentiful amount of pros for sure. But if you're not someone who's in the mood to pay $3 for parking for a few hours, then yeah, I would recommend to come here on Sunday. I think a lot of the sort of places here in Calgary are free parking on Sundays. The nice thing about the city, if it was Toronto and Vancouver, that obviously wouldn't be the case. But here, it's a different story. So you can just park your car here. There's going to be a lot of parking options sort of on the side streets. Make your way towards the middle and you'll probably be good to go. Over here, there's another restaurant called Hana Sushi. I'm sure that's pretty tasty as well, but I haven't had the chance to try that yet. I don't know what it is, but in terms of vlogging, I think I'm getting a little more comfortable and used to it. Getting used to the idea of walking and talking as well as just stopping and talking and be able to see words in front of the camera, so to speak. So on the plus notes, that's really good. Hopefully this will transcend to sort of the YouTube algorithm and my videos can do a lot more successfully and therefore I can get monetized hopefully by the end of this year. I think this video is sort of ending because I just walked through most of Mission a lot faster than I expected. There's one thing I need to do, but yeah, as you just saw, I need to make a thumbnail for this video because every time I do some of these videos, I forgot the dang thumbnail and then I have to improvise. But this time I do have that thumbnail, so that's good. So let's head back now. I'm in the car now and there's one more spot that we need to go to and you'll see in just a moment. Okay, so we have arrived at our sick destination, by the way. We have arrived at Krispy Kreme Donuts. Let's get it. Alrighty, so we have successfully got the Krispy Kreme Donuts. I'll also show you in the B-roll, kind of like the food review in regards to that as well. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We're going to wrap up this video here. So leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and peace out.